Croeso, and welcome back to the channel. We're joined again by Steve Willetts, who's been able to give us another presentation following on from Enki and the Search for Eridu. This is to do with Enki's journey to Nibru. Using topography and etymology, Steve Willetts has been able to show the link between South Wales and ancient Chaldea, decoding the narratives within the landscape. Stay tuned for an absolute mind-blowing journey through this work which Steve Willetts has done. Thanks, stay tuned.
Okay, so this is now episode 3.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a good start. So today we're going to be looking at Enki's journey to Nibru, which is Nibru, not Nibiru, the famous 12th planet or Planet X.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't found that. So no, yeah. So this is just going to be looking at evidence to see if we can locate Nibru or Nibru on the ground somewhere in the Welsh valleys. So as normal, we got the bibliography, the books I've been using this time. And as such, I think I've got them all there. But again, is like the other ones, is the ETCSL will be the main one again. But it'll obviously there's going to be others as well. Right. So if I go to the hang on, if I do this, right, that's better.
Oh yeah, nice.
Right. So last time, if you remember, we looked at basically Enki here. This time I'm gonna be careful on my drawing. We can be looking at these two mountains. Oh, done it again.
It's unavoidable. You just have to roll with it.
Yeah. So that character in the middle is believed to be Shamash, the sun god. And we're also going to be looking at this bird here. As the British Museum's description of this identifies this as an eagle. So we're going to be looking at the eagle, looking at Shamash, the sun god, out of these drawings here, and then at a future time, we're looking at Ishtar there, and then the other bits. We go back to the last episode, and we looked at Enki. We located Eridu in this location here, on the edge of the swamp. Swamp marsh. So we're going to take this as a starting point. And then if you look at this section down here, it's got Enki is now ready to proceed by boat to Nibru to obtain endless blessings for his newly built city and temple. So if we take Eridu as a starting location, if he's going by boat, he's basically, you got 3 options. Coming down to the River Severn down here, it's not quite on the map, but up here you got the River Wye, and then you got the River Usk going that way. So I looked at the River Severn, and that can lead anywhere, but the star map is north of this, so it doesn't go south of the River Severn then. So I ruled that one out. So then I looked at the River Wye and also the River Usk. Now, where the stars are, where I thought it could have been would be the River Usk direction anyway. I had a quick look at the River Wye, and I couldn't find anything up that way, so I just went for then the River Usk. So we got a start in location, and he's traveling by boat. He's going up the river. So that's the main point of that slide. So now we got the eagle and the dead man. So the eagle in this case would be Altair, the eagle, and the main star is Aquila, which is a bright white star. So the constellation is Aquila, and the star is Altair. Right, so if you look at that diagram as well, and on you, this is from the British Museum. He stretches out his right hand towards an eagle, probably the zoo bird who stole the tablets of destiny, which we will go on to in the next episode. And this bird is believed to be an eagle from the British Museum description.
Mm-hmm.
So where Enki was, if you know, is the River Usk, River Wye. We're now looking for the constellation of the eagle. So from there, if you go north, you do actually come to the constellation of the eagle. So if you got the constellation of Aquila is the modern equivalent of Altair. Altair being the eye of the eagle.
Okay.
So
Altair is one of the planets that makes up Aquila.
The star, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, planet.
Yeah.
Star, yeah, sorry. Yes.
Hang on,
it might have some planets, you know.
It might well do. I should imagine it would.
Yeah.
So the eagle and the dead man has a dual function. So one function is to bring in new life, which we have a look at the place names. And the other one is to snatch away transgressors, evildoers, thieves, robbers, and that type of person. So you have this dual function. It brings life in, but it also takes away a certain type of life. People who are not, who haven't sort of lived a well life then.
Yes, yeah.
So now this is when you got these diagrams. A bit of caution on my diagrams. I drew over after put a thing for Gavin White. I tried to draw his image of it.
Yeah.
Mine looks more like a parrot, but
we get them. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the orientation I've come to. Even though if you look at various depictions of the eagle in different, sometimes it's a different way around. But looking to what's on the ground, this is sort of where it makes more sense, this orientation. So what I'm going to what you've got in this area here, and I'll turn my pen back on. In this area here, you had the horns of the goatfish.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right,
yeah, Asken is then to the right. And then you got the forehead of the goatfish down that way, or Capricorn.
Okay. Down to the southeast.
No, to the head and the horns are it'd be to the west.
Oh, sorry. Right, to the west, sorry.
To
I
the
don't
west.
think your pen came up then.
Oh, right. Okay, so in this area, I'm just going to go through some of the names. One over here, there's a road which goes to Penpeltheny that way, and that is actually called Star Road. So, which is quite interesting because there's quite a number of places, pubs, farms, which have actually got the name Star in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I know in Mamalabur now we got Star in. Right, so you got that Star Road, so that sort of gives an idea there could be a star, but there's so many stars, so you could really put it anywhere. So that leads then to number 2, Penpeltheny, but then there's an older spelling called Penpeltheny rather than Penpeltheny. That's going to be on the next slide. Just go down into a minute. You then got Teithloyd Farm, which is number 3, which is, I'm sure you can see around that area. And if you remember from, I think it was the first episode, Floyd is a way of indicating where a star could be. Because you know, Floyd means like faint, pale, and also holy and blessed, which is a good description of, even though the word Floyd doesn't mean star, Serin or Ser means star, it's a way of describing a star.
Yeah.
So you got that there in 3. Then where I've only driven past, and it's on farmland. There is a footpath there, so I haven't actually gone there to see if there's anything there. But there's a farm there, and one of the field names from the tithe maps is Kai Erwin. So Erin R and Gwyn means very white, pure white, splendid. And that would be the exact location of Altair. And Altair itself is a white star. So you've got the field name indicating the color of the star in the right location.
Right.
And that's in the eye of the eagle.
The eye of the eagle there, yeah.
Yeah.
If you really want to have a look, it's best to go onto an Northern survey map. But when you put them on there, they look quite messy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you got like places like Pontypool down there, Blaenavon up there, and then, like I said, to the that way to the right is Usk. So you got the location there. So number 5 then, let's get rid of some of these, is Tree Domen Farm, where tree or tre or trev means town, dwelling, habitation, home, and domen is a mutated form of tomen, which means mound, hillock, tumulus, cairn. Now, where Altair is a rounded hill, small rounded hill. There's quite a few of them around it, but you can see when you drive past on the main road, you can see it's just this rounded sort of hill. So whether they use the whole of the hill to mark the star, I'm not really sure. So on here again, now we got number 6 is a little village called, or hamlet called Marmelade. And right next to the church there is a pub called Star Inn. So you've got the Star Road, you've got the Star Inn, you've got Teithloyd Farm, and your Caerwyn, sort of indicating it could be a star there, and it's a white star. So number 7 then, you got a little place called Snatchwood. And this is from place names of Greenwich and Morgan. Snatchwood is named after the Snatchwood Building Society. But right in that location is what's now known as Snatchwood House. But before that, it was Snatch Farm. This will become clear in a moment. But if you remember from the eagle and the dead man, the eagle would snatch away the transgressors. So you got the Snatch Farm in this area, where the dead man would be, where the eagle would swoop in, pick up this body, this evil one, and take it away. And then just north of it, with the famous Garn Fight, which has been on Britain's Hidden History a few times. So Garn Khan, which means Cain, Tumulus, Mound, etc. And Defight means evil, wicked, base, worthless, disgusting, etc. So you have this eagle coming in, so the main star is there. This eagle swooping in and snatching away the evil ones, and that's where I haven't put it on here for obvious reasons, but there's a wall in the Garda Fight area, and if you look at it, it suspiciously looks like an eagle.
Uh-huh.
But that's and it's not enclosed. It's not an enclosed wall. It's just on its own, this wall.
Yeah. Very odd.
Interesting.
So if I just get rid of some of them again. So from that, we can say, right, this is two more things I'm just going to look at a minute. So just to remind you again, this way is the head of the goldfish.
Yep.
Right, so if you just go to the next one now. Oh, that was blank. So the eagle in Welsh is erer. So eru or aru, this is in Akkadian. It's both a word for
This is the top result.
Oh, let me turn my phone off. It's listening to me. hopefully you can cut that bit out.
Yeah, no problem.
Take it from the top of the slides. That is not from right from the top.
Right, that's out of the way now. Okay, so the eagle in Welsh is erer. In Akkadian, you got eru or aru. It's both the word for eagle and the infinitive of the verb to be pregnant. That's Eric Arena's Astral Magic in Babylonia.
Wait. So,
sorry.
So the eagle is Eru in Welsh and in
Akkadian.
Akkadian.
So it is erer.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Eru.
There is difference, but very, very similar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And to be pregnant, interesting. Okay.
Which we'll come on to in a moment.
Mm.
So in the Epic of Gilgamesh, and this is Benjamin R. Foster's quote from his book, let them summon Aruru, the Great One. She created the human race. And then from Gavin White's Babylonian Star Law, we can be sure that the feminine form does indeed represent the Great One, as the throne is sometimes placed above the goldfish. So from that, where the goldfish was, if you remember where I showed you the goldfish at the head, then you got the eagle next to it. And if you remember, Marmalade is in the location of the eagle as well. So this Great One, she created the human race. And she's this Erer in Welsh, or Aru in Akkadian. If you look at the word then, marmalade, and break it down, you got mam, which means mother, ancestress, source or origin. Heel, which means seed, offspring, lineage, race. Or a combination, which is Hilada or Hiladav, which means human race. So you could then translate that then as the mother of the human race.
Wow.
So yeah, so you got the pregnant bit, the human race bit from the Epic of Gilgamesh. Yeah. That's the first time we touched on the Epic of Gilgamesh. And the location of this Great One as the throne is sometimes placed above the goldfish.
Yeah.
Because Aruru, the Great One, which is Aru, and then you got this little place called Marmalade then, which the name suggests, mother of the human race. Where it should be, where the eagle is, above the goldfish.
Right where the eagle is, yeah.
Yeah, wow. And above the goldfish.
Yeah.
So then the other name which I mentioned, which was
sorry, can I?
Oh,
sorry,
sorry, yeah.
Steve. I was going to say, when Gavin White's talking about her throne being placed above, what is he describing? Is he describing images, or is he describing literary traditions, or?
I believe it's in his book. There are various images, but I couldn't see an image which showed this above the goldfish.
Right.
So I'm not sure if he's got it from a literary source or from an actual image,
like a cylinder seal or something else. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But... So I just went with the description what he said, and
sure.
The Great One is placed above the goldfish, and Aruru is the Great One, which Eru is eagle or to be pregnant. Yeah.
That's cool.
So the next place then was Pen Perth Lenny. There's an older spelling, which was again in Richard Morgan's book, of Pen Pelth Lenny. So in this instance, you got Pelth, which means far, far off, far away, remote, and Enni, which is a mutated form of Genni, which means to bring forth or to give birth. So where Pempertheni is like close to the head of the eagle. So this eagle brings in this new life. Yeah. And you could say he's bringing it from far distant. So he's bringing in this new life or birth in this new life from far distant.
I'm with you.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Makes sense. Yeah.
What does Morgan give for the meaning of names like Mamilad and Penpacheni?
Penpyrthlenni generally is believed to mean something like rounded hills, which there are a number of rounded hills in that. They may be glacial, and where the glacial deposits have been dumped, they form these rounded sort of hills. But Penpyrthlenni, that was just what he does is get the name and then put another load of other spellings of that name and the dates and things like that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it's from you that day, from you that day. Yeah. So where the head of the goldfish was, which is near Usk, the other side of Usk would be where the star of Omega Capricorni is, and that would be at St. Cavu's Church, and that represents the breast or the heart of the goldfish. It's now dedicated to St. David. There's something quite unusual there as well. They got a graveyard with a circular, I don't know if you call it, not a like a henge type circular, and the graves are in the middle of it.
Interesting.
It's not perfectly circular, but it's quite circular, and all the graves have been put in the center of this.
Is the church in it as well?
No, the church is to the side, I believe. I haven't been there, but I believe the church is to the side, and the graves are put inside this sort of
That's unusual
bank, this circular bank.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Have a look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cavu, on his own means life. Now you've got the Cav bit, or Ca, Can, and Cav, which are synonyms of each other, which means before in time, and then you have Vu, which is a mutated form of Bu, which means living life, possibly indicating then the time before birth, or as we've seen with Aruru, the verb Eru, to be pregnant. So where St. Cavu's Church is, it's directly east of, I think I said west earlier, didn't I? Directly east of where the eagle would be. And this eagle brings in this new life. And you got this church suggesting bringing in new life.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's amazing. And so you've got this whole line of things going from the stars, all the star references.
Yeah.
At the top, especially around, obviously, I assume the eye of the eagle is the main star.
The main star, yeah.
Constellation. So you've got all those place names in that area. You say possibly after a natural feature that maybe it's
a rounded hill, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's been messed with a bit or something, maybe.
Yeah.
But
we're talking thousands of years, so
yeah, exactly. And then all these place names going right down from the feet of the eagle, where the evildoers are snatched away
from gone to fight the evildoers, yeah.
Yeah, and then all these other place names, which then also relate to the other aspect of bringing new life.
That's it, yeah. So you've got these names bringing new life in and taking the evil ones away, and they're all in the right location.
All in the right area, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they're sort of 20 miles north or wherever where you expect them to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're just north of somewhere where we were looking at last time,
yeah.
Which had all the names where you'd expect them to be as well.
Yeah. And Eridu to be where you expect it to be on the edge of the
Gwent levels.
Yeah.
Brill.
Wow.
Right. Any questions on that one before I go to the...
No, let's go for it.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Right, so the cargo boat, which is Corona Australis. So it's probably best if I read this out. Well, I read what I've, if it's going to be on the screen for a while, so I just read out what I've highlighted. So you got the minister brought his master across by boat, bringing him over with the rope of a small boat, bringing him over in a big boat, the Lord floating downstream. So when I was looking for Nibru, I had a location which because there are other bits and pieces, and I thought I think it could be in this location. So I had to look then upstream from where I was looking, because he came downstream. So if the boats came downstream, I'd have to look upstream from where I think the location is.
Yes. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in Abergavenny, just outside Abergavenny, we've got a Sguryd Fawr and a Sguryd Fach. So a Sguryd meaning split or shattered, which is fair enough, because a Sguryd Fawr has got a crack on the side of the mountain, and that name would make sense. Even though it doesn't directly mean that, as far as I'm aware. But it doesn't explain them why you got a Sguryd Fach, because there's no crack on it. So you got two mountains. One is Sguryd Fawr, a big mountain with a crack, and a small mountain with a crack with splinter.
Yeah.
Mm.
So only one of those has got, and that's on the picture to your right. You can see a Sguryd Fawr, and the shape of it there.
Mm-hmm.
So a Sguryd itself means rough, rocky, or rugged. A Sguriaf, which is close, means split or shatter, to split or to shatter. But because you're looking for a boat, you've also got a Sgraff, which means small, and it also means large boat. And then you've got a Sgraffydd, which means ferryman. So if you look at that highlighted quote again, the minister brought his master across by boat. So the minister is the ferryman.
Ferryman, yeah.
And then bring him across. And because the small boat is got a rope, and he's bringing the master over in a big boat, you've got the small boat in front of the big boat being towed. So the one, as in relation to each other, the small boat has to be in front of the big boat.
Yeah. In the direction of travel.
In the direction of travel.
Yeah.
Upstream from Nibru.
Yeah.
So that little diagram of a boat, I found this on a website called Boating Genie, but I haven't been able to find the original image of this boat. But the reason why I put it there, he's got the first presented model of a ship under sail appeared on a disc found from ancient Mesopotamia, dating between 5,500 BC and 5,000 BCE. But what I found it interesting is the back end of the boat is higher than the front end, and it's steeper as well. So if you turn any kind of boat or ship upside down, that looks like a hell of a ship. The mountain on the right.
The mountain, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then a Sguryd Fach, which is a circular mountain, is a lot smaller, but is circular in nature. I think they call them corfs or coves or something like that. But the Mesopotamia, or the Iraqi version of the coracle, which is a round boat. So they had round boats or coracles out there, but they call them, I think, as a corf or couf. So you got that as a small boat, this little coracle, pull in a big boat then.
Yeah.
So
which is Enki's pleasure barge.
Yeah, you could call it that.
That's what it seemed like.
And so where I believe Nibru is, both these are upstream from Nibru or Nibru. So I got some other pictures to show you.
Can I ask a astronomy question?
Yeah.
So Corona Australis.
Yeah.
So this will be the southern crown. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this something that they wouldn't expect? I don't know about how well you can view this constellation. Is this something they would expect to find on Sumerian, Babylonian star maps, or is it something that's
the cargo boat?
Yeah.
It is a Babylonian constellation.
Oh, it is right.
It
Okay.
is, yeah.
Right.
And it's believed to be the most likely location is Corona Australis.
Okay.
If you look
what
at
we call today Corona Australis.
Corona,
right.
yeah,
Yes.
that's it, yeah.
Okay. Right.
And if you look at those stars, only a small constellation. They do look like a boat.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
But they're also that constellation is also just to the, let me get the direction right, to the southeast of Ysgyrwydd.
Okay.
So the constellation itself is next to this possibly big boat then.
Okay. Right.
So like I said, Ysgyrwydd, Ysgyrwydd, they're close enough to make you ask questions then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's another picture on the left of Ysgyrwydd or Ysgyrwydd, which what I'm suggesting is. But on the right, you've got Ysgyrwydd here, directly in alignment with Ysgyrwydd. And Ysgyrwydd is a small round boat, and you got this longer boat, a big boat, and a small boat, and one towing the other. So here's the River Usk, which goes that way, and you got the River Gyfenni going up that way. So this river coming down here from that location, that top boat, and this. So Nibru needs to be downstream somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let me get rid of those again.
So heading down the Usk.
No, it'd be like there's a River Usk going this way.
Yeah.
And coming down this way is the River Gyfenni, and they meet around this sort of area.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. But if you look just on those, like you can see that there's a long shape. It looks like a howl. And that one is the round one.
Yeah, that's the one where it clicked earlier when I was looking at it, and I was like, "Whoa, that is your little coracle boat pulling, pulling the pleasure barge."
It's directly, directly in line.
And is that the flow of the rivers? They're flowing south.
Yeah, the rivers flow that way and that way, and then the other goes down there.
Great.
Yeah.
Just no words, really.
Okay, so right. There's a bit of reading this time. So what we're trying to find is the location of Nibru or Nibru. So, you got the first quote is from the ETCSL, or the Electronic Text Corpus of Sumerian Literature, Oxford University again. So this is in the story of Enlil and Ninlil. So you got, his eye is bright, the Lord's eye is bright, he will look at you. The great mountain father Enlil. And then you got the shepherd who decides all destinies. So you got this great mountain, and you have something to do with destinies.
Mm-hmm.
So the next quote then, basically what I was trying to do is build up as many clues to where Nibru would be. So you know it needs to be a great mountain, which in Welsh would be Mynydd Fawr. And then we needed to find somewhere which could possibly explain a destiny then.
Yeah.
So that's one of the clues. The other clue was the big boat and the small boat upstream from Eridu, and they were coming down because Enki went up there, so you knew it had to be up in that direction. So you got the direction and rough location, and then right, I go to the next bit, probably the best. You got the sacred mountain, the holy mountain. The base of the mountain is located in the region of the Scorpion. So we got another clue that it's got to be in the region of the Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
And and upon its slopes can be found the curious figures of the sitting and standing gods. We'll only look at one of those gods. In front of them, we see the figure of Shupa. We'll go next time. We're going to be looking at Marduk, and that will come up in that one. Who represents Enlil, the supreme god of the skies, who is himself called the Great Mountain in mythical texts, supporting as it does the great god of the skies on its summit and the serpent body ancestral figures at its base. The mythical mountain does truly have its peak in the heavens and its foundations in the underworld. So we've got now a scorpion. We got the sitting god, I think, and we've also got some kind of foundation again. And that's Gavin White's Babylonian Star Law. So we've also got when upon the hill of heaven and earth, and spawned the lunar gods. That was in the debate of sheep and grain. And there's another quote from it. At that time, at that place of the gods' formation, in their own home, on the holy mound, they created sheep and grain, which we'll look at those two names as well. The debate of grain and sheep, Enlil plays a vital role in the ancient Near Eastern cosmology. He separates An, or the heavens, from Ki, earth, thus making the world habitable for humans. I'm just going to read these and then we'll go into some of this then. So the next one is again from Enlil and Ninlil. Just go to this part here. The seed of your Lord, the bright seed, is in my womb. The bright seed is in my womb. And then the next one then is Enlil in the Eker, or Eker. So we got this quote, like I said, leave it on so people can have a good read of it. You got the commands are holy, his utterances are immutable. The fate he decides is everlasting. So we got destiny and fate now. And then further down, we've got the mighty Lord, the greatest in heaven and earth. The knowledgeable judge, the wise one, wide-ranging wisdom, has taken his seat in the Duranki, which means mountain house, and made the Ki-er, which means foundation. The great place resplendent with majesty. He has taken a residence in Nibru, the lofty bond between heaven and earth. The front of the city is laden with terrible fearsomeness, and the radiance, its back is such that even the mightiest god dare not attack, and its interior is the blade of a sharp dagger, a blade of catastrophe. For the rebel lands, it's a snare, a trap, set with a net. So you got a lot of sort of, let's call them not negative, but fierce sort of. It's like it's surrounded by evil and fierceness, and then you got the borders, and the next one down, the borders of Nibru form a great net, within which the heron eagle, or what we just looked at, the eagle, spreads its talons. The evil or wicked man does not escape its grasp. So we know now that Nibru is bordered by the scorpion, the eagle, the standing gods. You got these two boats coming downstream, and you got all these different names associated with it. So Enlil, when you marked out the holy settlements, you also built Nibru, your own city. The Ki-er, the mountain, your pure place, you founded it in the Duranki, or the mountain house, in the middle of the four quarters, which we'll come on to later, because it doesn't appear to be in the middle of the four quarters. Four quarters of the earth. Its soil is the life of the land and the life of all the foreign countries. Its brickwork is red gold. Its foundation, again, is lapis lazuli. So with these descriptions here and the other descriptions and the shape of those boats and his upstream form, you sort of building up a picture now where it could be. So, 2 seconds.
Definitely looking at a mountain. Something
We'll be
big.
looking for a mountain.
Yeah.
If you looked at, if you remember from the beginning of that Ada seal,
Yeah.
you had Shamash,
Yeah.
which was between these two mountains.
Yeah. And didn't he have a dagger?
On there, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking of when I was reading about the blades of sharp daggers. Was that guy sort of?
Yeah, he's got a serrated blade in his hand. So, right, he's got some more wonderful pictures. Right, so Border and Nibru are the constellation of the Scorpion, which is here.
Yep.
The sitting gods, which is here. The eagle, which is there.
Mm-hmm.
Nearby, we have a big boat, and the small boat is there.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks pretty obvious where it could be.
Yeah.
I'm having a guess. So it's bordered by. So you got
right in the middle.
right in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just going to point out some stars for you a moment. Yeah. Right now, some of these diagrams, like I said, they're not quite exactly where they should be, because of space, and they'd have to overlap them, and so I've just offset them slightly. That's all. So you've got a tumulus, row Sagittarii, tumulus, and which would be the point of the stinger. Is going to be around sort of that area, and you look on Ordnance Survey map, and you'll see the tumulus marked on there. So you've got Upsilon Virginis, which is a cane.
Whose stinger is that?
Sagittarius. It'd be in Babylonian, literally, it'd be Pabelsag, but in modern terms, Sagittarius.
I was going to say, does Sagittarius have a stinger tail?
in the Babylonian version.
Well, that's really cool.
I mean, these are quite composite figures, like the part horse, part bird, part this, part that.
Yeah.
So then we've got Upsilon Virginis, which is Virgo. There's a cane there, but it doesn't mention which part of the body or what it represents, but is believed to be part of that constellation. So this cane is roughly roughly around that area.
Right up in right by the left pincer of the scorpion, right underneath the sitting god.
Yeah.
Underneath.
The easy way to find it, if you look on the map and look for Chartist Cave, where the Chartists hid all their weapons and planned to go on their rampage and fight the. Have you heard of the Chartists?
Yes, yeah.
The Chartist movement, yeah. So there's a cave up there called Chartist Cave where they hid all their spears and stuff.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, below there, is a little hamlet called Trevel. But between the two, you've got this big cane called Carn Fawr. It is one of the biggest ones up there, if not the biggest one up there. But slightly below that, you've got Upsilon Virginis, which is one of the stars of the sitting gods. Carn Fawr itself represents something else. It doesn't represent the star. But that's for a future.
Is that for we'll get to that.
I could go into this, but I was going to do it.
No problem. I just you just make it sound so exciting and mysterious when you say like, oh, it's something else.
It's actually one of the planets it represents.
Right. Okay.
But not that location is
Mars.
No, it's you only got a couple more to guess.
I only guessed Mars because of the Vow. I thought it would be.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There's what's known as the let's call it the exaltation system, where a planet will have a specific location in the heavens where it's at its most auspicious or powerful.
Yes. Okay. We went a bit into the omens before, didn't we? Yeah, we went a bit.
So each planet will have one specific location on the star map, except for Venus, which has 2.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one of them.
Ah, interesting.
And probably why it's so big.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I might as well just
because it's bright.
Yeah, it's Saturn.
Right.
And as in.
Oh no, I'm just the whole thing is just so fascinating, and I'm just trying to sop up as much as possible.
Yeah. So the next one then is Antares, which is the heart of the Scorpion, which is in the little village of Llangatog, near Cricawal or Cricawal, which is roughly around that way, probably slightly out. Now, Antares is a red giant, and the location where the star would be is just next to the River Esk, is Carn Coch, which means the red king. Red cane. So you've got a red star with a red cane.
Yeah.
And down here with the eagle, you've got a white star with a field name matching the white as well.
Yeah.
So
and you say you've got that in quite a few places, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
up on this mountain, you've got Mynydd Llanganida, and the Welsh for snake, serpent, or scorpion or serpent. Scorpions would be classed as serpents as well.
Right.
You got, and the Welsh for that is Neidr, and you got Mynydd Llanganidr. So you got Neidr and Nidr. So you got the serpent bit there, and the gun or cun means before time. So you could say the holy serpent from before time, as in way back in time.
Yeah.
I remember Ross doing a video there. There's a called Llanyao or something there, isn't there, as well?
So where the heart of the Scorpion is, Scorpion is believed to guard one of the portals to the underworld. One of the gates or portals to the underworld, which is interesting because then you got Llangatog, where Gat means gate. Right where this star is.
Yeah.
If you put Og on the end, so you got Gatog, even though it's not generally used this way, it can mean gatekeeper. So Llangatog, even though the Welsh is Llangatog, and the English, the phonetic English is Llangatog.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a possibility it could mean gatekeeper. And the Scorpion is a gatekeeper to the underworld. So above Abergavenny, on this little map on the side now, you have an area called Tywyn Aralth. And you can probably just make out there's 2 mounds there. You only find this on old maps, you won't see it on the... So we represent Shaula and Lesath. One is the raised tail, which is marked by one of the mounds, and the stinger is marked by the other mound. And those stars are close together, just like those 2 mounds are close together.
Yeah.
So then we got Alpha Librae, which is the main star in the constellation of Libra, the balance scales, which is going to be over here somewhere. Now, that's marked by Carn Caws. Now, Caws generally means cheese. But if you drop the S and just have Carn Cow, cow can mean harmonious or well-ordered, which implies balance.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Whether
there's something in Caws as well, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be like somebody came along and said, well, that doesn't make sense. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. How big are these mounds? Have you been to see these ones, Steve?
Carnivore is big.
Yeah.
It's big. It's taller than me. I mean, it's not an earth mound. It's just up on Mynydd Llanganada, Mynydd Llangadog. It's all what's that rock they made? Limestone.
All right.
So it's that you get it in chunks, then and it's just built up with blocks like that.
Yeah, that's what the ones here are like. There's no
yeah.
Well, unless a bit of earth is colonized with a bit of grass, they're normally just rocky.
Yeah.
But they can be like 25 meters in diameter sometimes.
Yeah.
And a few meters high.
Yeah, this one is that one. The others are not so big. But yeah, that's probably the biggest one up there. So, well, anyway, you've got what's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 6 stars.
Yeah.
Plus the ones before. So you build. I mean, if you had a map somewhere and you started plotting them out, you could plot them out on your own map and sort of follow along if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was going to say we're following ones. I think obviously we've done the swine and we did up through here. Now we got the goatfish and obviously we're doing Aquila. We've done a little bit on Sagittarius, I think, didn't we? Before. So it's interesting to see sort of a star map building up through here as we go through the episodes.
Yeah. Right. Then so we from looking at, if I just go back a minute, looking at there, like I said, is the most, I don't know why all they came back up. My most likely location is this by here, the Blow Range. It's from all the descriptions and what have you, that's where the most likely place it would be. So, I've circled a number of features. Number 1, the Blow Range. We'll go into that in a moment. So number 2, which is down here, you got Mynydd Agon Fawr. So Mynydd Fawr would mean great mountain. Carn or Garn can also mean, apart from being a cairn or a mound, it can also mean foundation or authority. So Endel has got this authority, and like it's from the Keir, which means the foundation, in the Duran Key, the mountain house. You've got foundation. So the mountain, if you put all those, you got Mynydd Agon Fawr, you got Mynydd Mountain, Garn Foundation, and Fawr Great. So you could have then possibly the mountain of the Great Foundation. So the next, if you remember from the debate of sheep and grain, you got then Carn a Defaid, which is the plural of Dafad, which means sheep. So you got the cane of the sheep. So number 4 down here, you got a Skibor Air, where Skibor means barn, granary, farm building, etc. And Air means gold coloured or golden. Now, since the granary holds grain or seed, and Air implies bright seed. If you remember from, maybe if I go back, the bright seed is in my womb. Yeah. So you got this bright seed in the womb. So if the granary holds grain, is that representing the womb? Because they're holding the seed, and you got the bright seed, the Skibor Air. Now,
what sort of feature is Skibor Air? Is it a farm, or is it a natural feature, or
it's a natural feature? It's a mountain.
Mountain, right? Cool.
Yeah. Well, hill.
Yeah.
If you see the word Air on the map, don't think of it as actually going to be gold there. It's more likely to represent the sun. So, as an example, where the constellation of the horse is, in Babylonian terms, and the horse's mane and the stag's antlers represent the rays of the sun. So where the constellation of the horse's mane goes down this little valley called Camarair, the Valley of Gold. But you're not going to find gold there because it doesn't represent that. It represents the sun.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think they'd leave it on a map if it was gold there.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be gold there for long.
No. I mean, if there's anything in these mountains, they were robbed out many, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
So now we got Pentawyn a Lladron, which is number 5 here. And Lladron, Slider is a synonym, or another way, basically means the same thing. Which means thief, robber, snatcher, predator, evildoer. And if you got the evil or wicked man, does not. It's you got the evil and wicked man. Oh, that's the wrong bit. Sorry. Why is this going back again? But then you got this. The rebel lands it as a snare, a trap set with a net. You got terrible fierceness, and you got also. The eagle is just down. Am I on right page? Yeah. So you got this snatch, predator, evildoer, etc. And then you got Kai Bryn Dala, which is number 6.
Yeah.
Which means to sting, to bite, to capture, to seize, to apprehend, to hold fast, restrain, or ensnare. So if you remember, these places were set with a net.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Described as a snare.
Yeah, and the guy hiding with his dagger.
Yeah. And then you got Khan Agorfydd, Korf, and Ith, means bodies or possibly heavenly bodies. And then because Khan can mean foundation, you got possibly meaning the foundation of the heavenly bodies. Now, and it was Edna who placed the planets, who'd been said to place the planets in the proper order.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Gonatharis, which is a mutated form of Deris, which means wild, rough, intricate, entangled, like a snare, again, labyrinth, and perplexing, but also, again, wild, unruly, and wicked. And then number 9 over here, you got Karag, I spelled that wrong, Karag Main Taro, which means to strike, hit, knock, pulsate, attack, battle. And then we got Gon Areru, which Eru could be a mutated form of Geru, meaning savage, wrathful, fierceness, or fierce. So if you look at the names and the descriptions of these names there, plus those quotes I put in and what they're trying to describe.
Yeah.
Plus you got the 2 boats coming down there. You got the eagle down this way, the scorpion up there, the standing gods over this way. And then you got the stars, which match as well. And Enki came north from Eridu. Both came south down that way. And all of a sudden, it's like it's describing this location.
Absolutely. That's it. Yeah, because even the way he said, like, oh, the back of it is impossible to think. And then if you imagine that as the back, and that's where those sorts of names are, and then you've got like the evildoer towards where the snatching eagle is, and
incredible. It's just brilliant.
I do wonder, like, next time I might be throwing a couple of spanners in the works, as in not spanners in the works, where there are more mountains which are shaped like you think they should be shaped. But yeah, that I'm not sure how long it'll take me to get that one out because there's a lot to explain on it.
It's all right.
But we won't just be staying in Southeast Wales. We'll be going up to Sweden and Norway.
Oh, okay.
just touching on India to try and explain something which I can't get my head around yet, but
Right.
I'll put it out there for everyone, and people can make their own minds up.
But episode 27, is it, when we get to that?
Or the next one. Well, for me to finish all this, it could take 50 odd.
All right.
Wow.
We only add you down for 49.
I'll have to.
I'll just have to leave a cliffhanger at the end. Oh dear.
I mean, some of this I done 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the Blorridge, right in the middle of the Blorridge. These are the top bit now. You got up here. This is from Richard Morgan's Place Names of Gwent, and you got the dates where it was. These names were used. So you got Blorridge. It goes back as far as I can see, 1256. Whether there's earlier names of it, I don't know. So at the end, you got Ace, Ice, Eng. So you got quite a few different endings, but the first part is always Blor, or Blore. That remains consistent. So I've got you. It's likely the name has lost the Welsh for the, which can be written as ar, a, or apostrophe r. And that then can mutate the first letter of the next word. In this case, the B of blor, plor, and blor is mutated from plor, and plor. So I found no word for the last bit, plor. So it's generally thought that the Blorridge means pimple. And if you look at the first one, plor, it means dust or pimple. I just don't know over it. Dust or pimple. But plor can mean fate or course. So if Enlil's, like I said, we saw from before, the fate, the destinies, and course, he set the course of the planets or the heavens.
Yep.
So
yeah. So good, because obviously, if he's as above, so below, if he's setting the course of the heavens, he's also setting the destinies of mankind as well at the same time. Yeah.
Whether there was really a god who put them in a place, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what they tried to say, that these been placed there by a god, maybe. Yeah.
And Enlil is the supreme god who would be able to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got the end of the word containing eng, could be indicating space, expanse from eng or eng, and wide open space, and expanse from yang. So you got, if you then write on the full, you got a, which means the, blor, which means fate or course. The apostrophe for r is another way to say it. So you got the fate, or you could say of the open space expanse. So from the Blorridge, which generally thought to mean pimple, you've actually got this alternative meaning of this being nipple because of where all the other constellations and everything else is. And giving you
it's the city of the person who sets the course of the heavens.
Yeah. And the mountain name, if you break it down in that way, I mean, it's not too far off from the Blorridge, where it could be saying, well, that's the right name.
Right.
Brilliant.
So there was some archaeology I seem to remember on the Hill of Search and Inquiry.
All right, yeah.
Is there any on the Blorridge? Is there any suggestion of Hill Fort or anything like that?
To be honest, I didn't really look into that.
No.
There are some unusual features up there. Which I don't know. I wouldn't like to say. I wouldn't.
No. It's just curiosity. That's
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's been mound building all around it, cairn building,
Yeah.
all around it. So obviously a lot of activity in the area anyway. So.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just put this in the Tablet of Destinies. The Tablet of Destinies, along with I don't know if it's pronounced Me or May. I think it's May. The May just the powers that give someone the knowledge and the power to build society, build civilizations, rule.
Okay.
So and his crown and throne was one of the objects whose possession guaranteed endless supreme position as ruler of the universe and controller of the affairs of men and gods. And as the Babylonians treat the stars, we like to treat as the Babylonians treated the stars like we treat our saints and the gods with planets. I just put that in. Could this imply that Enlil set the orbits of the planets and the position of stars from the Blorenge, the fate, the course of the open space expanse? I didn't go too quick, did I?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that
and if that's right,
yeah.
I don't know why I like this beer, but up here you got the mythical mountain, and I just like that term.
Yeah.
Mythical mountain. Yeah.
Foundations in the other. It's so it reminds me of in Hugh Evans' work of Kader Idris and the place where Idris mapped the heavens from. And there's like rings with those sorts of ideas as well.
Yes.
Now obviously Idris or Enoch was mapping rather than controlling and setting.
Yeah.
But,
exactly. No, I mean, to be honest, that's probably what was happening here. They were mapping.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there was a god called Enlil who actually.
No.
Let's go and put that star there.
This idea of May or me or May is very interesting as well. The knowledge and to civilize or to rule.
This was. I gotta say, if I had it close at hand, I would have read the description in full. But no, it's here somewhere.
Cool. That's all right. Well, everyone should be right at a computer right now with the internet at their fingertips.
Yeah. Right. So back on. This is the Blorenge now. Here's my pen.
Oh my God! Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So this is the Blorenge, the top of the Blorenge here.
Yeah.
So you got Shamash, the sun god, poking his head through these two square mountains. Now I'm going to put an argument that these two square mountains are there, and Shamash should be poking his head through. You got the mountain, the mountain.
Yeah.
And he's poking his head, but he's only poking his head up. Yeah. So if he's only poking his head up, what I was thinking is that marking the sunrise. The Shamash is the sun god, is a marking the sunrise. So this is from, if I just go back, up here.
I can't see that.
No.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's just behind the little box that our heads are in. Up and to the right, yeah, I can see that. Top right, up right, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a cairn up there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where and then there's another small cairn around this area. And also there's a big stone on his, because this is littered with small stones. There's one big stone on his own, basically in the middle of this curve on the top of the mountain. So this is from that first cane I was on about, that bigger cane, in sort of right in the middle of the blow range.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't got a fantastic camera. I didn't have a zoom on it, but if I just zoom in here, you can just see the cane there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this, I don't know what happened there, but
well done.
I didn't want to draw a circle, but there we are. I go. So you can see that cane by there, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's cane there. This is a skirrid foul.
Okay. Oh, you got a text box.
I got a text box now.
There you go.
And this is the, so what I was trying to.
So are we looking down between those two mountainous sides there through the center from that cairn?
Yeah. So you can see the cairn is just there. That is there. And the sort of the end of the curve bit of the mountain is sort of that in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
And then just with that horizon is just over the side down below is a big stone there.
Okay.
One big stone on his own.
What, literally just dip down there, is it?
Yeah, so where you can see that tiny little cane, if you can see it now. Sort of, I think is slightly to the right, I think, somewhere around there. But it goes down in the dip. When I say down in dip, it dips down. And
sure, down the slope of the,
And that stone is where that curved, where it looks like it could be two prominences sticking out, where that curve is, that stone is in the middle on the top of there.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
So on the right there, we got sunset, this diagram here. So this line here marks the sunrise on the summer solstice, and this line here marks the sunset on the winter solstice.
Right.
So the sun rises here on the summer solstice, the A is part.
Yeah.
What you got to try and remember as well is this is on the star map, not it might not be where it rises exactly.
Oh, right. So where the sun should rise according to the star map, is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, but I'm also saying that it could actually be physically marking where the sun rises as well and the sunset.
What, at a particular point in time?
The summer solstice and the winter solstice.
Oh, sorry. I meant like over thousands of years.
Right. I've only done this from a modern perspective then.
Yeah.
Right. So you got the sunrise on the summer solstice.
Yeah.
Is in this direction. So this cane here, and if you look at the angle, is 47 degrees. So 47 degrees, get an OS Ordnance Survey map, 47 degrees points in this direction. You need to go up there and check on the summer solstice, right? But I don't know if it'll rise where that cane is, where the mountain is, or in between.
Or in between them, yeah.
Somewhere there. But like I said, that stone is just below it as well. But it'll be in that direction.
The bearing, you're saying the bearing is definitely, well, I say definitely, is generally correct, but you're not exactly sure where on the horizon it would rise.
Yeah, I've overlaid because
we should have recorded this 2 weeks ago, Steve, and someone could have gone up.
I was going to do it myself, but I was working and I couldn't get up.
Oh, yeah. It is an early start, isn't it? The solstice.
But it's summer solstice is 47 degrees. It'll rise at 47 degrees. So if you get, but basically what I've done, I got an Ordnance Survey map. Because I don't know you can't precisely say that is the exact location from this cane. But I've gone from this cane, and basically 47 degrees or a degree either side is there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it would be smack, when I say smack, with that cane, where that curve, with the prominence is sticking, excuse me, prominences sticking out, shows Shamash coming between those two mountains.
Yeah.
And that's in the right direction of him being in the middle coming through.
Yeah. I'm poking his head up.
Yeah. What makes it, you can't see it properly, but yeah, that's the center of the ecliptic.
What, on the star map?
On the star map, yeah. Right there, center of the ecliptic. So I put this diagram on the center of the ecliptic. 47 degrees goes up that way.
I know what that is down there.
And that down here.
It's Eridu, isn't it? Is that Eridu?
No, Eridu's over here somewhere.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was Eridu.
But you've got Hen Sol Park. Hen means old and Sol means sun. So old sun. Yeah. So if that's a winter solstice,
yeah,
and you got Hen Sol, old sun, it could be saying that's the sun at its weakest point. And Coed Talagon, Tal can mean something like a gable end or something like that, but it also means end point.
Huh.
So you got the beginning point up there, and that's a small rounded hill again. Coed Talagon is the Khan at the end point, as in the winter solstice.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
As the sun at its weakest, or hence all old sun.
Yeah, and it's and
they're both right next to each other. But whereas in the north bit up here, you can see from that cane, through that cane, and that stone, it points to the summer solstice. I don't have any reference point to measure it from down there to say it's from here. That's where you'd view the...
Right, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but the names, and because it's diametrically opposite through the center of the ecliptic, and it all matches up.
I think you're probably going to show us next anyway, but could you show us where the Blorange is compared to the center of the ecliptic?
I don't know something. So we got your Ysgyryd Fawr.
Yeah.
And the Blorange is here.
It's about that. Okay, cool.
Right. Something like that. Yes. Yeah, I might be off slightly, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's
because it's really close to Ysgyryd Fawr, isn't it?
Yeah. So what I noticed that if you go from the cane on the Blorange through that sort of way Shamash is going to rise, or that cane, that smaller cane or the stone, going that way, it's about, let's say, 1, maybe 2 degrees out. It doesn't come directly down here.
Right.
So there is excuse me. Hang on a minute. 2 seconds, guys, drink a water a minute.
No worries. We'll cut it out.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to nip to the...
So then, if you remember from before, and this is this part here, this is talking about Enlil. When you marked out the holy settlements, you also built Nibru, your own city. The key here, the foundation, the mountain, your pure place. You founded it in the Duranki in the middle of the 4 quarters of the earth. So if this is basically the one on this one here.
Yeah.
This diagram here. This is where the Blorange would be. So what I've got here now, these lines represent over this way. I'll just go through this one.
Yeah.
You got the head of the score, the goldfish or Capricorn is there. It indicates where the constellation behind the sun when the sun rises on the winter solstice.
Okay.
Over here would be the summer solstice, and these would be the equinoxes. Then this is just the constellation behind it. So that's not going to be the direction of So if you've got a static map,
Yes.
As the heavens and the stars turn round, like I said, the winter solstice here, you got the Capricorn, and that would be the head of the Capricorn, say then, would be behind the sun as it rises.
Right. So that helps. So knowing the location of Capricorn helps you locate and orientate the entire map as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on this now, like I said, he's got that he founded this in the middle of the 4 quarters. But if you look there, it's not in the middle of the 4 quarters.
No.
It's there. So I had this idea then, if the mini star map in Sengennes is anything to go by, and if it's correct, there should be a correlation. Okay. Because if there's a mini version of the big version, there's got to be a correlation. So what I've marked here, these here are the rivers. You got Mynydd Mayo there. You got these mountains here.
Yeah.
So you got 4 mountains split like that, split into 4 quarters. So the St. Genna's Valley, you could say, is split into 4 quarters.
Almost on the same orientation as the map as well.
Yeah. and then you've got that place here, which is Kevin's Floyd, which I showed you in the first one.
Yeah.
Which means the supporting ridge at the center of the Holy Stars, which is a possible interpretation. It's in the same quadrant as the orange.
Yes.
And those 4 mountains there, if you go there, it looks like it's split into 4 quarters.
Yeah. So the big
map and the small map match.
So and then there would be as well is the supporting ridge of the stars in a way because of the way that he sets their course and amazing. And it's almost on the same orientation as your map as well, which is bizarre.
And the same quadrant.
Yeah.
And if you go there, it is split. If you go to Abertrydu and look around you, which is Abertrydu's in the meeting of the 3 waters, you've got you look around and you can see there are 4 mountains there.
Isn't it weird how that in the bottom right quarter on the St. Gennath map, that stream there even mirrors where the Usk Valley is on the big one.
I hadn't noticed that one.
Oh, that's so weird.
It defrays your brain.
It does.
So so there is obviously a bit of a difference here between the center and where you think it is. Do you have any sort of accounting for that? Do you or
right? What are we talking about now?
So it says that he reckons this city of Nibru was founded in the middle of the 4 quarters.
In the middle of the 4 quarters,
And obviously the Blorange is not quite on the. If these are the 4 quarters that are being meant, it's not quite there. Do you? Obviously, it is reflected possibly on the mini star map here, but do you have any sort of reason why you think there is a bit of a disconnect between your star map and the what we can find written?
Nothing.
Nothing. No.
I've got nothing for you with that one.
No.
So I don't know why at some point I might come up with an answer, but at the moment I don't know why they are saying in the middle of the 4 quarters of the earth, and what is showing me it's not.
No. So that's quite interesting. And the other thing I was gonna say is, have you maybe I'm jumping ahead. Have you looked for any other similar features on the mini star map beyond? Sorry, what am I talking about? Nibru, but beyond Nibru, like have you looked for Eridu on the mini star map or?
No, is the answer to that. Because there's other stuff there as well.
I imagine there's loads going on.
It's I mean, it might be something I could I'm trying to think to myself now.
It's so strange that I mean, when I first saw this and I saw the orientation of the four quarters on the and as soon as I realised where we were looking at St. Geneth, and just to reiterate again, it seems like there's like a smaller mini star map within the bigger one, which helps you sort of navigate the larger one.
And you know what's mad about this as well?
Go on.
Apart from one star, which is right. Oh, my pen's not working. Just run out of ink. Which is right down the bottom of there. There are no if you look at a star map where this is, there's practically nothing in that part of the sky. So the bit that's blank, it's not blank. There's stuff there. Yeah, but there's nothing hugely important there, as in really bright stars, except down towards this. Hang on, let's try.
Right off the south of that St. Geneth map. Yeah.
That might be wrong, but it's around this area. It would be the Star of Capella, which it's got this little goat figure. It's a sitting figure with a goat in there, and the goat's horn then comes up this way, and that's where you got Coed Kai. Is it Coed Kai Pika, the wooded field of the javelin of Wilson the Blackadad? But it's actually where the point of the goat's horn would be.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only star on there.
Speechless.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's like, how did they pick a region of the sky where there's no other real parts of the constellation? I mean, there is a constellation. Oh, pen's gone again. Sorry. There is a constellation here, but there are no real stars there as such.
So would you say it's like just one of the least busiest parts of the star map?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not void of anything.
No.
It's not, this stuff there. And it's important stuff there.
Yeah.
But it's if hang on. I don't know if
whilst you're having a look, I'll try not to distract you too much. The only other thing I was thinking of was about Wilson and Blackett, and then talking about the how the sorry, my brain's gone blank. The Mesopotamian cultures divided the civilization as well into the four quarters, where you'd have like the agrarian to the southwest or something like that. You know, have the religious aspects in the in the northwest, and then and vice versa, and they would be split as such. Politics and government in the southeast.
Well, that's mad. Right off the top of you said politics in the southeast. I hadn't looked at that. Yeah. Mynydd Mayo, which would be the southeast. Wilson, southwest. Sorry,
southwest.
Ignore what I just said.
Well, no, just out of interest, because I might have got the various ones mixed up anyway. But I think
because Mynydd Mayo, they had it as the ruler.
Oh, okay.
That's why I thought politics.
Yeah.
Yes.
The ruler or the mayor.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to dig out my copy of Ark of the Covenant again.
The Covenant, yeah.
Have a look at that.
You've given me homework as well, haven't you?
I remember Ross talking about, he brought it up a couple of times on live shows on BHH, and he was saying that it works for any country in Britain, in the British Isles.
Yeah, I can remember it. Yeah, I can remember I can't remember the detail on.
No,
it's been a while since
it was like northwest was like the religious centre. He said something about the warriors being down in the southeast, and it was very, very interesting idea, and something that I've encountered before outside of Wilson and Blackett as well, and I find that sort of those sorts of ideas incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though because I've got a lot more detail on the star mark than Wilson and Blackett have, I still can't get over how they discovered it from nothing.
Right.
I mean, I had the work, the general orientation. How do they work out that this was a mini version of that? It's like.
Sorry, is that the? Are we at the end then? Because I got a couple of general questions I'd like to ask, but I don't want to. If you're at honestly, if you're at the end of Nibiru, and then
yeah, I think that's
it. Oh wow, that was fantastic. Thank you so much.
That's it.
Yeah, that is brilliant. And so it was just leading on from what you said. I got a question: is how many of these did you sort of go and see, mark out on a map before you were like, wow, they really do have something here. This is here. And
I don't know is the answer.
No, because I mean I know that. So
if you've read the Discovery of the Ark of the Covenant, I mean, there's so much information in there, and it just one sentence will just lead you. It was like, right. And then there have been times when I've been looking for something, gone back to it, and read one sentence, and I thought, oh God, if I read that properly.
Oh yeah. You would have got it first time, yeah. That's odd. Yeah, I mean, I've been through a similar process where you start finding bits, and you're like, all right, yeah, I think this is here, and then after when you've gone through a whole process and you've got loads more, you think, well, that was interesting because I was convinced by this little bit, but now I've got all of this. You know, and it does sort of develop in that way, doesn't it? So
yeah, it's at the beginning, I didn't. Even though I felt like I thought, God, this is because it's my local patch. I thought this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
But it's like I was thinking, well, why has nobody ever heard of it? Like, well, anyway, I went through the various books and I tried to piece bits together, and then I was going, well, that right.
Yeah.
So I ended up. And it is probably a process you've got to go through, trying to translate as many things as possible.
Right.
And then you start to get, well, why is all that stuff over here totally different to the stuff of the words over there? I mean, it's like you get some common words, obviously, like, but and I you just translate and try and translate this and try and translate that, and then you go back and I got one of these, just a simple old planisphere. When I say planisphere, that's after I ripped the top part off, so I could see the stars. But that is invaluable because it's different to the star map in Gwynedd that Hugh Evans has mapped out. It's a different sort of style.
Yes. Yeah.
Even though some of the places he's got that name there, and I look on my map and the names are identical. I mean, it's like, oh, that's the same as that, and that's the same as that.
I mean, the problem is obviously that you're trying to put in something 3-dimensional onto a 2-dimensional.
That's it, and that's where.
So you can make different decisions about where things.
Yeah.
Things
so
go.
If you think of the sky as basically like a sphere, then that's what a planisphere or something like this is. It's the plane of the sphere.
Yeah.
You got the sphere and you put it down.
Yeah.
But when you do that, it distorts all the constellations on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my first mistake I made, I go on to say something like Google and Wikipedia, and they got the constellation, and you try and put them over there, and unless it's in the center, which is less distortion, you put on the outside and they never fit. because they've drawn it, well, mapped it as it looked if you looked up.
Yeah.
But when you got the planisphere and like you squash it down, it's like a map of the Earth, and you got a sphere, the Earth, the globe,
Yeah,
and the map. I mean, the edges are all over the place, and that's why something like that was invaluable to. So all I did,
because that's what they're trying to do with the star map is basically create a planisphere, isn't it? So
yeah. And all I did then was move it around. Right, that place name sounds like that. I put that there, move it around, and after maybe well over a year of moving around, translate the names, moving around. Well, those two canes fit, but that one doesn't. Move it again. That one doesn't.
And that's just is that with each constellation, or is it with the whole?
Well, I was trying to find, but with something like this is set at 51 degrees or 51.5 degrees, something like our latitude then. And it's set on Polaris. Yeah. But I believe it was measured out from the center of the ecliptic. But I haven't got something measured from the center of the ecliptic. But if you measure it from the center of the ecliptic rather than from the pole star at that time, it doesn't matter what era, decade you're in, it's always going to be the same. So if you measure it from Polaris, then the distortions will be different.
Yeah, I can see that.
Than if you was at Thuban.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be close enough.
But it would be different, yeah.
It would be different, yeah. So you've always got to, and you got to give it some leeway, because sometimes the cane falls on the side of a mountain and they built it on the top, or falls in a river. So you got to build it to the side. So you got to allow these. And when you think it was over, diameter 45, 50 miles, something like that. I mean, you got to give them some leeway.
Yes.
Right. Final question for me.
Yeah.
X marks the spot. Is there anything there in the middle of the four quarters? With not Nibru, but is there anything there?
Which one are we looking at?
Oh, the left-hand one, at the center of your cross.
No.
Is that the center of the ecliptic? Is that how the star map's laid out from there?
Right. There is something there. No, the center of the ecliptic, because it's such a small map.
Sorry, it is kind of.
It's going to be around there somewhere.
Okay, right.
So, from what I found, I dated it to the names on the ground, on various bits and pieces. So I've dated it to around, say, 1500 BC, the star map.
And that's based on like the dates of the Babylonian ones that match. No.
So Marduk then has got a celestial plough, and that plough, the point of it marks what I believe is the pole star of that time.
Okay, right.
So once you find these different places and place names, because you got one starting point, the center of the ecliptic. Sorry, it's not. What it says is that the constellation of the Wolf stands on the seed funnel. Now, this plough is like that. So you got a seed funnel there. You put the seeds in there. You got a handle here, and you got the blade down here. I don't know if you can see that there.
Yeah.
So the seed funnel has got a wolf standing on it. Now, close to where the center of the ecliptic is, you got a cane called Tywin Bladiad, which means the Tywin can't Tywin Bladiad, which means Bladiad means wolf-like, from the root word blithe meaning wolf. So you got to start the location of possibly where the seed funnel is, because that's where he's standing on.
Yeah.
So if you got a seed funnel, and you got the basic picture of it, and you got this image of Marduk.
Yeah.
Well, so you could sort of say, right, you use the seed funnel. This is not on this map. I just drawn on here, coming down this way. The handle would be coming that way, and then the blade would be down here somewhere.
Okay.
So the seed funnel would be roughly by there, just close to the center of the ecliptic. Now, that seed funnel and the blade, I believe, move that way. And this point here, the center of the would mark the center of the ecliptic. So the handle end stays there.
Yeah.
And this seed funnel would move that way, and then the blade would move that way. So if you got where the seed funnel is, marked on the ground, as in that's where it is, you got that, then the handle, which is the center of the ecliptic. So I got the center of the ecliptic, and I got the top of the seed funnel. And because this is shaped like this, and then it's got a blade on the front, you know it's got to be in. If those two things are there, you know the blade's going to be over that way.
Yeah.
And where these cross here is where I believe would be where the pole star would be when this was built.
Right.
Because it's marking then the pole which comes around this way. You know, the pole will go. I mean, it's very crude. The pole will go around.
What, those scribbles? Surely not. Yeah,
I mean,
right.
You can see I went to art school. So where that cross is, just above it, on the edge of a golf course, is where the star Thuban would be, which was a pole star at some point.
Yes.
So that's where that would. So this would be here, but the star that marked it, there was no star at that time, even though on the ground there's a Tywin, believe it or not, and there's a farm name, which is now gone and built on, used to be called Tywin Star.
Wow.
Marking where the pole would have been, what I believe at that time, because they've set in stone where the seed funnel is. The center of the ecliptic would always be there, and this would be Tywin Star, marking where the pole would be. But the real star would be just slightly to the right, which is Cockab.
Okay. Because they were in between pole stars at the time.
Cockab never less. Cockab would be the pole star, or the closest star to the pole. Yeah. Because there would have been no star.
No, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
So yeah, that's so when you got those things set, 2 point set, then you can look for and then the place name there you could possibly translate as the center of the honorable court. right by Tywin Star.
That's very reminiscent of like the Mabinogi, isn't it?
Yeah, was it? Oh, yeah, I can't. Yeah,
I mean the idea of the court as the zodiac, or
well, the Knights of the Round Table, was it 12 of them?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sure, I've often wondered about the 12 battles in Nennius, but I think 3 or 4 of them happened at the same place, and I'm not sure what that would mean. But in an astrological or zodiacal sense. But
I've got no logical reason for this next thing. But why are knights called knight? Why is a knight in armor called a knight? And if it's 12 of them, and they could be the 12 constellation of the zodiac, the only time you see them is at night.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So don't.
No. It's just interesting. These little links can be made. I did see something about the etymology of knight recently. That's so weird that you bring that up, because I did actually read something about that recently.
Yeah, I have looked into it. Just an idea popped into my
head.
No,
that is interesting.
Well, it can be coincidence. It's like these.
Of course, yeah.
Magic. No, I mean, like are they really coincidences? You get these things that like you've shown today, words have these double meanings, and it's
Yeah.
like they're coded to have these double meanings sometimes. And when you look into stuff, the more you become aware of that. I guess.
And why would you put a silent letter on it? Why not
just
leave it off?
Yeah. I see. I definitely. I thought that was really interesting. It's like, but intuition does play a part in this stuff, doesn't it, as well? So.
Also, if you don't investigate certain things, then you're not going to find. Well, if you don't investigate, you're not going to find things, and you can have an idea, and if it comes up, if it comes up with nothing, then
then it's nothing. I've gone down more dead ends, and I found.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, oh God, that's a brilliant idea, and it turns out it's not.
Yeah, but that's. Loosely, that's what science is, isn't it? You come up with your hypothesis and you test your hypothesis and you test and you test and you test all the until you get something that works.
I'm not saying everything that I'm putting forward is anybody spot on. I can't say that.
No,
but these are this is what I've got. These are ideas, and I'm just trying to. Basically, what I try to do is put as much of this together, which is going to, because if you take any one thing that I've shown, you can dismiss it. You can just say, oh no, it's a load of nonsense. Get two things, dismiss it.
Yeah.
Get 50 things. All right, maybe not, but we're going to stick on this one and dismiss it. Get 1,000 things, then it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And the fact that you've just gone, right, here's Wilson and Blackett's star map, and look, I've just sort of filled in some of the blanks and shifted this in here. The fact that you've taken also these possibly contemporary Babylonian myths from when Wilson and Blackett thought the star map was from as well, and found that as well overlaid on top with it exactly where it should be according to the law, the star law and stuff. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing.
It is.
I think that just it does add another layer of not just a layer of complexity to actually what was achieved here, but also another layer to actually.
And I'm absolutely
convincing me that it's there.
I can be certain, and I quite encourage people to do it. Check what I put down, and if you've got a different idea, run with it. I mean, this is not, excuse the pun, set in stone.
Only some of them.
But yeah, even if say we do end up doing 50 of these, and I'm 105, and somebody comes along and go, oh well, I don't disagree with that. I disagree with that. But it's fine. It's not. I'm not here, like I said before, like trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm going, this is what I got. Even if one person somewhere goes, oh wow, and then they go off and then they do something fantastic, brilliant. That's what I say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, as I say, but how it was presented to us from Wilson and Blackett was as essentially as an unfinished piece of work. They'd done absolutely loads, but but they were also like, but we've just got so much stuff that we just can't, they get as much into a book as possible. But
if you look at all the stuff Wilson and Blackett done, I've taken a small segment and I've spent 5+ years trying to, and I'm still finding stuff.
Yeah. And it's interesting thing. Not only you're confirming it, but you're expanding on it as well. And if it didn't have legs, it shouldn't be able to take that expansion. It should crumble underneath it. But it doesn't. It's
it's very, very, very convincing. And the overlapping with the meanings and the placement of things, and the way things are described in colours and everything like that. It's very hard. It's very hard to dismiss it from where I'm sitting.
I keep on seeing too many similarities in the top and in the topography between the left hand and the right hand map. It's just spinning me out a bit. I'm like, oh god, and that valley looks like that valley there. Oh no, oh no. Oh god.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thanks so much, Steve. Oh,
Yeah,
so
No worries.
what do you reckon the title of the next one's going to be called?
I'm just going to call him Marduk.
Marduk.
all right.
Yeah.
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 That's it.
Excellent.
That's like Beyonce or Madonna.
That's it, yeah.
Just Marduk.
It'd be looking at things like the Enuma Elish.
Excellent.
I probably pronounced that wrong.
I know what you mean.
Yep. Also the Descent of Ishtar. And then after we've done that one, it'll be Ishtar and the Lion. So we look at Leo, Cancer.
Is that still going along that cylinder seal? Is it?
Well, Ishtar's on there and the Lion's on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
And then at some point, maybe the flood.
I think that has to be done.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And then, because what I'm going to try and do, rather than go through everything in every constellation, everything, just like in this one, I just pointed out like a star, two of the stars, or four of the stars in Scorpio.
Yeah.
I'm not really gone into anything else with it. Pablo Sargo, Sagittarius, it was just the one star.
Sure.
But yeah, because it's that this way, I may be able to finish so you'll have everything, but not everything.
Okay, so yeah, I said so the stories allow you to sort of show the star map in pieces.
Yeah.
But you don't, and then maybe we can have a look at an overview afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to get on to a couple of the stories in the Mabinogi as well.
Oh yeah, great, yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
But surprisingly, the Mabinogi stories, what I've got, and I haven't got everything, you could say are south of that line.
Oh.
And I got nothing north.
That's the ecliptic.
No, that's the equinoxes and the solstices.
Oh, the equinoxes and the solstices.
Yeah. All right.
So that's the south.
So I got some more cities. So at the moment we got Nibru up there and Eridu down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So there'll be Orok. It's mad that I think is again, don't quote me on this, I'm trying to remember now. Isn't it in the Bible where Ur is called the city?
Oh, that does ring a bell.
The what city? Sorry?
The city. The city.
I'm pass.
So if Ur is the city and the Welsh for the is Ar.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, okay.
It just keeps giving, doesn't it? Oh wow. So I feel like I'm being just imbued with all this knowledge, you know. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so it'd be Sipa would be another city.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a few more cities to have a look at.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Brilliant. That's amazing. Thanks.
But like I said, a lot of that is, I don't know when I don't know how long it's gonna take me to do the next one, because it's a lot. I might have to leave some out because there's a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, we trust you to to provide the important bits, and then I'll end up asking you about all the bits that you've left out. That normally happens. I'm sure it'll be fine. No, this is fantastic. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I eagerly await each one, so this is great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.